If you want to see how we achieve this look, make sure you stay tuned and keep watching. Hey Snatch Babes, it's your girl Snatch Possible here, and we're back with another video. So today's video is going to be all about your girl's hair. I have had a few requests to do a tutorial for my Instagram, so I did want to go ahead and film this on here so that way you guys could have a platform to kind of see and get the idea of how your girl did this hairstyle. So if you want to see how we achieve this look, make sure you stay tuned and keep watching. Okay, so if you can see, it's a little fuzzy, okay? So I'm gonna try to get as close as possible. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Okay. So I'm just gonna take out one braid and show you guys how we achieved this look. The thing that you wanna do is start with your hair, and look at this braid out though, like how beautiful. But you want to start with a section of hair. I did pre-section my hair before starting just to make the process go a little bit smoother and easier. You are going to need two types of hair. I used MARLEY hair, and you can't see the brand just because I threw the packaging out, but it's just like your standard MARLEY hair that looks like this. So you want to use your MARLEY hair, and then you also want to get some type of a wavy hair. I decided to go with the Sisterlock braid, and this is the deep twist extra long. So I did a color 2 for the MARLEY hair as well as the Sisterlock hair. If you want this style to last a little bit longer, I would suggest to possibly do human hair instead of the Sisterlock hair, because this does tangle a lot. You have to do something to it, because if not, it will be looking a little raggedy. Not gonna lie. I did do mousse and water, and then I sprayed a little bit of Got to Be Glued spray on it to kind of keep things together. It did seem to work a little bit better than not having anything at all on it, but again, it is not human hair, so it is going to frizz, it is going to tangle, and it is going to mat. So you just want to keep that in mind when you're looking at what type of curly pieces or wavy pieces you do want to add to your hair. I am going to start with my pre-sectioned hair. I'm going to get a little bit close, and typically for each braid I try to use about 7 pieces of the MARLEY hair braided down. The thing about the MARLEY hair, it is already separated in the packs, so you don't have to worry about separating the hair as you would with normal braiding hair, which I definitely do appreciate. It does help the process move a lot quicker. So I am going to take my hair and I'm going to section it off in 3 sections. As you can see, it's already sectioned off. Don't mind. I had my scarf on, so my makeup didn't hit my scalp. My makeup did hit my the top of my forehead, but that's not here nor there. So we're going to start with the 3 sections. I hope you guys can see we have 3 sections, and I'm going to first start with doing a regular plait on my hair. So if you don't know how to plait, you just do like a regular braid, and I think I braided down about 4 times down. And then this is where I start to add in the hair. So I'm going to take my first piece of MARLEY hair, I'm going to place it behind. So it may be a little bit hard to see just because my hair is on the darker side, but I'm going to place this in between or behind these 2 pieces here. And I'm going to keep it like this. Place it in between these 2 fingers, so here in the middle, and then I'm just going to continue down with my braid. Taking another piece of hair, same method, I'm going to put it behind and then continue braiding down. Now, as you can see, each strand of my actual lock has a piece of MARLEY hair attached. So this one has a piece of MARLEY hair, this one has a piece of MARLEY hair, this one has 2 pieces of MARLEY hair. So in order to make sure that your braid is nice and the size is fluid throughout and not very chunky at the top or super small and then it's very chunky and the size isn't consistent throughout, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to the amount of hair that you have as far as the hair that's been added. with the pieces or the strands that you have with your hair. So because this one has 2, I'm going to go ahead and add another piece of hair to get these to 2. So each strand of my hair will have 2 pieces of Marley hair, and then I'm going to continue braiding down. And now you want to add another piece of hair behind. So I don't know if you guys can see that method that I'm doing. I try not to put it on top because I'm not perfect with my braiding technique. So when I put it behind, it kind of hides any imperfections that I may have. So I'm going to go ahead and put this behind and continue braiding down. So you should have something that looks sort of like this for your braid. And again, depending on how long you want this, you can add as many pieces or as less of pieces as you want. I did 7 just to get the desired length. And then, yeah, so now these have 3 pieces, these have 3 pieces, this has 2 pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and add another piece to these 2. I'm just going to keep braiding down. So each of them, these 2 have 3 pieces. This one has 4. So as you can see, this has 1, 2, 3 pieces of Marley hair. This strand has 1, 2, 3 pieces of Marley hair. This strand has 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of Marley hair. Just to make sure that this braid is going to continuously be even, I want to go ahead and add my next strand of hair from Marley hair to these 2 sections here. So now each piece would have 4 pieces of hair. And I think you guys can see this a little bit better. I'm just going to continue braiding down. I'm not really good at these type of tutorials. This is my first time actually filming a tutorial like this. So if the angle is bad, I do apologize. I'm trying to capture this the best way that I can. But your braid should start to look like this. A seamless braid from root down. And to be honest, you can stop there with adding the hair if you like. I did try to hide as much as I could my locks because once I get down to the end, it does get a little bit hard to disguise them. So I will show you guys a trick on how you can correct that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish braiding this down and add my last piece of Marley hair. And this would be piece number 7. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and braid this down all the way to the end. You wanna try to keep your braid as tight as possible just to kind of make sure it's neat. Okay, so I have completed my braid all the way down. You can add a black rubber band to the end if you want. I just had a knot because I don't have any black rubber bands at this current time. These little pieces are just the Marley hair, so you can cut those little pieces off just to make your braid look a little bit more uniform. So I will go ahead and do that. Now it's up to you on how you would like to keep your ends. Some people don't mind. They want to keep it like this. That's completely fine, just to give like a nice frayed curly look. I did, however, take foam rods or foam rollers and I rolled the ends just to give myself a little bit of curl at the end. I don't know if you can kind of see. It doesn't look as good just because I've had this style in for about 2 weeks now, so some of the curls are looking a little janky, but you get the idea. It gives you a nice little bouncy curl, if you will. I would recommend, if you do decide to do the curling rods or foam rods, to sort of kind of loosen up the hair a little bit so that way it can really take to the curl and be nice and bouncy and fluffy and not a little janky. So I would recommend that to the ends just to give you a better curl. But if you want to take it out and let it be fluffy, you can, you know, let it be fluffy however you decide to do your ends. Some people want to have a blunt cut to the end. That's completely fine. But I will show you how to fix this imperfection if your locks do start to peek through. So you're going to take a crochet needle and you're just going to basically just crochet within the braid so that way it's not sticking out. So in order to hide this imperfection here, I'm going to take this crochet needle and push it through the braid. And you just want to grab that hair with the crochet hook. latch it in there if you can see, and then just pull it through, and that will help hide. As you can see, that long strand is no longer peeking out, it's now within the braid because I crocheted through. And you would just go through and do that with all those small pieces if you care. Some people are like, I really don't care, I just want to get the braid in. Me, on the other hand, I'm a perfectionist, so for me that was unacceptable. I did have to go in and put those in. As you go through this style and have this style for some time, you will notice that they may come back out. You can always go back in, like these here, crochet them back in if you will. So that is the basis of the braid, and then I will show you guys how I added the curly pieces in, so we'll get into that portion of the tutorial. We are going to take our freestress hair, and we are still going to be using our crochet needle, crochet hook, so you want to keep this close and nearby because we will still be using this. Now for this hair, you can use as much or as little as you like. It is completely up to you. It is your choice depending on how many curly pieces you want. This hair can get a little messy, so my recommendation when trying to pull the hair apart, rip it as fast as you can, because if you do it slow, it tends to get very, very tangled. So just to kind of give you an idea of what I mean, you can take it by the ringlet and then separate the ringlets out, but you want to take it from the top and just rip it as quick as you can, so that way it minimizes frizz and it minimizes tangling. So we're going to do that. And I'm just going to set that piece off to the side really quickly. Okay, so we have our freestress hair. Now I don't want the ringlets to be this big, so I am going to separate this one ringlet into a few pieces, maybe 1 or 2 pieces, and you can place them in the braid or within the braid however you choose. I wanted a piece at the top to help kind of frame my face if I did want to wear it in a ponytail. So I am going to separate this, and again you want to pull nice and quick so that way you get your separate pieces in your desired thickness. So you want to keep the hair and keep this loop, because that's how you're going to add it into the braid. So I'm going to try to get as close as I possibly can just to show you guys. Ooh, I think I still got some of the hair stuck to me. Okay, so I tried to get a piece at the base almost. So you're literally just going to stick that crochet hook in, take the hair, put it around the crochet needle or hook. You want to close the hook and pull the hair through. As you can see, I didn't pull all of the hair through, so you want to be cautious when doing so that you loop all the hair in the loop in the hook, so that way you get a seamless and easy pull through. So I'm going to try that again. Hook the hair through, close the hook, and pull it through. Okay, now that time we got all the hair. So you should see that you have a loop like so. And then I'm going to take one strand of the hair, pull it through the loop, and then I'm going to tighten that. And then I'm going to separate a small piece from the one that I didn't bring through. Again, nice and quick, so that way it doesn't tangle. And then I'm going to tie a knot with this. And knot that. Now, if you are a pro, you can add the hair within the braids as you're braiding it down. I am not a pro, so that is how I added that piece of hair in, as you can see. And then you can add as many pieces as you like, depending on your desired, you know, how long you want it to go, what you want it to look like. I'll show you guys one more time just to kind of give you another visual. And for the sake of the video, I'm just going to take this full piece. And again, you can do it as thick or as, you know, as chunky or less chunky as you like. I'm going to add this one a little bit lower down in the braid. And you can use this hair if you want to do chunkier pieces to hide those imperfections in the braid. So you see I still have some pieces sticking out. I can put this here to kind of mask that in a sense, so that way it's not as noticeable to the eye unless like somebody's close up. So again, stick that hook through, take your hair as you can see, and we're going to hook that on the hook, close it, pull it through. And then we're going to take that piece, pull it through the loop, one piece through the loop, tighten it, and then we're going to take the piece we didn't pull through the loop, separate it into a smaller piece, and we are just going to tie a knot on the other side. And tighten that, and there you have it. I can say with the thicker pieces of hair, it may be a little bit harder to get the loop to stay, but you just have to play around with it, and that is the braid. Now if the pieces are too long, you can go in and trim. So these are a little bit too long. I am going to go ahead and trim them at an angle, so that way they stand up a little bit so you guys can see. Just gonna go ahead and trim them down just a little bit so they are my desired length, and that is how we did it. So this is the hair, and again, this has been in for a couple of weeks, so don't judge the appearance. Okay, babes, so that is how your girl achieved this look. Again, don't judge. This has been in for about 2 weeks, but I did get some requests to film a tutorial on how your girl achieved this look, so I did want to go ahead and film that for you guys. If you like this type of content and want more sister lock content, lock content, styling content for my hair, definitely drop a comment below, because I like creating it, but I don't create it as much. So if it is something that you want to see and you need some inspo, definitely let your girl know, and I'll be more than happy to create more content like this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're currently at 856, so we're almost there. So I would definitely appreciate it if you like this content and enjoy fashion, fragrance, and a little bit of sister lock content. But like I always say before I go, if I can do it, you can do it too. So get up and just do it. Peace.